What is up, everybody? Welcome back to RC's Gateway to Comics. Today we are going to be talking about how I turned a supposedly one-off book into a universe. And this has to relate to my first book, A Red Sky is Upon Us. Now, a lot of this is heavily related to the backstory behind the book. I had started writing the book whenever I was in a dry spell of writing one of my unpublished novels, and I wanted to write a pirate story. And the story that I came up with was a pirate captain, Captain Riggs, wants to become the most notorious pirate to sail the seas. And to do that, he ends up mutinying against his captain, and him and his pirate friends on the crew take the ship, the Red Sky, and they go and try and find the most legendary treasure that they can think of. And that is the treasure of Isla de Dolor. And that is an island that translates to the Island of Pain. Now, while they're doing this, they end up encountering a ship that has the daughter of a Commodore on it and a bunch of other sort of posh Englishmen aboard because it's a passenger ship. I mean, the pirates end up capturing them, and Riggs sparks up a sort of one-sided romance with the daughter of the Commodore, and he tries to win her heart while they are going to the island to search for this treasure. Now, where this changes from being a one-off story to building a universe is where I had originally meant for the villain to come in. Originally, I had the villain being a sort of ghost pirate, and he was going to have a magical emerald necklace that would give him powers and would make him be a more imposing villain, in addition to him being sort of like a ghost. So, I started off the story with just having him be the only one who has this magical item, I guess you would say. And him and his ghost crew were going to be going after the Red Sky to get their treasure back, and that would lead into all sorts of stuff with like battling them and finding out how to defeat this ghost ship. And then at the end of the story, Riggs and the daughter of the Commodore would just end up together and would end up sailing off into the sunset to be happy as a pirate couple. Decided not to go that route because I figured a much better way to make it work. So, instead of having this ghost ship and this ghost pirate captain, I instead went with a more imposing villain. And that would be a villain that I called Auroras, who is an evil mermaid who has magical powers to begin with because she's a mermaid, and she also has that magical emerald necklace. And if you notice in pretty much any of my past videos, I actually have that necklace tattooed on my arm because it's the linchpin for how my universe starts. So, she has this magical item, and it is not the only magical item in this universe. She was given it by the captain that I was originally going to have as the first villain. So now he's just a legend in universe, but she is the real villain of this story. So, by having more magical items, I am able to spread out that overarching story throughout several different books. I have 5 different main magical items, and in the first book, I give you a brief glimpse into it because I have this. And it shows the pirate crew trying to find ways to destroy this and take away the powers and bring the villain down to their level. And they realize that this magic is much bigger of a threat than what they had originally thought. Because whenever I was first writing a rough draft of this story, this was the only magical item. There wasn't anything else. And whenever it came to future stories, because I knew that I wanted to write them, and I wanted to draw out this overarching story, I knew that I could use these different items to build up this universe and create an entirely new mythology behind them. I could take from existing myths of the sea, stuff like leviathans, various different things that sailors believed back in the 1700s, and I can mold all of them together into an epic, overarching story that covers several different books. And I actually have other ideas that are going to be coming out in the sequels to these 5 books. And that all came from what I thought at the time were just like little menial changes. Changing the villain and changing the amount of magical items that were in the universe. So, this is something that I was not expecting when I first went into creating A Red Skies Upon Us, and I am highly satisfied with how it has turned out so far. If I was to go back in time and tell myself that I was going to create 5 books out of this little pirate story that I had in my head, then I would have probably been like, well, that's surprising. How did you do it? Because back at that time, I thought it was just going to be a one-off. And being able to make those changes and make the villain more menacing, more calculating, and also building up a different mythology and legends in the universe that I'm creating. It's much more of an invigorating story, and it opens itself up to a lot more branches that can come off of it. Obviously, with the trunk of the story still being the Red Sky series, but there's so many other things that can be built off of it that I honestly can't wait to get to, and I wish I was able to write a hell of a lot faster because I would be able to get this stuff out there quicker. But it's still it's quite surprising how much things can change even from just tiny little changes. And I want to make sure that you guys are not afraid to take the step forward and make those changes. Because you could be in a similar situation to me. You want to make a grander story, and there's just some little thing that's holding you back. And you just need someone to tell you, hey, it's okay if you want to make that change, because it may end up leading to something that's even better. And if I'm the one to tell you that and you take me up on that, then more power to you. I hope that you make the best story that you can possibly put out. And I'll be there cheering for you. What are you guys' thoughts on taking a singular story and broadening it to an epic scale? I want to know what your processes are with that, if you've done it, and if you have any differing thoughts on, I don't know, that process and the mindset behind it. Let me know down in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like and subscribe to the channel so we can continue to bring these lessons and experiences to you guys and also fellow creatives. Also, if you enjoy pirate stories, then check out my books, the Red Sky series on Amazon and Kindle. Hopefully you guys enjoy it if you do decide to check it out. Thank you all for watching, and I will see all of you in the next video. Peace out.